good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome. Day 5 already. So that's gone quick, hasn't it, this week? Okay, so today we're going to dive into the world of sharing. And I've said sharing is caring because I want to change people's mindset on the idea that marketing is a bad thing. Because people often look at marketing in two ways. They look at it like, oh, I need to do everything and know everything about marketing, so look at it that way. Or they look at it from the perspective of marketing is a bad thing because I'm trying to force people to do things, I'm trying to sell people, I'm trying to push people. But if you take that mindset away and go, actually, sharing is caring, and think about what we talked about your mission, your audience, your brand, the information that you've got, the way that you want to help people. Think about it this way. If you were sat on the best thing in the world, let's take the one we had from the other day about backache or something, and you had a way to help people relieve pain or suffering, do you think it's a good idea just to sit there at your desk all day, not helping anybody? Or do you think B, we should do as much sharing as possible so we could help as many people as possible? Which one do we think it is? Now, I'm saying that a little bit tongue in cheek and a bit sort of fun like, because sometimes people have this real adverse reaction to marketing like it's something really bad. But it isn't. It is just sharing valuable content and information to people who might need it. Now, the key thing there, and I said might need it, is we want to try as much as possible make sure that goes to people who genuinely want it. The difficulty comes with marketing if you feel you are being spammed and bothered and harassed by things you either don't want, don't need, have no interest in, or you've specifically said no to. Then we move over onto the other territory, and then obviously that's not really about sharing anyway, that's about pushy sales. And we're going to cover the selling part tomorrow. I deliberately wanted to make them two separate blocks on purpose because sharing overall can be very multifaceted. And like how we had the business map the other day and we had our list of different things and different ways that we could help people, we also have a map that is to do with the overarching picture of the way we share. Now, the obvious ones, all of you will know because the first thing that springs to everybody's mind is social media. Yay! So people got social media accounts and you can share information. Fantastic. Some people have websites. They have blog posts or articles or whatever, so they share things that way. Some people have YouTube channels, so they share things that way. Some people podcasts, some people books, some people audios. Let's say some people might go speaking, some people might go on summits. Some people club together and create a best-selling book with 12 different authors in there. There's a whole heap of different ways. Guest podcasting, guest posting, guest everything. Piggybacking, joint ventures, joint alliances, just there's loads of them. So the thing is, we have to look at which one of those bunch or which collection of that bunch is where your audience is hanging out the most. And so remember, when we think about sharing, a lot of it is actually more about your audience than it is you. So for example, I will meet people that go, I don't like Facebook, I prefer LinkedIn. I don't like LinkedIn, I prefer Instagram. I don't like any of them, I don't want to be on any social media at all, etc., etc. And of course, you are entitled to your personal opinion. And I get it. At the end of the day, we all can feel a bit fatigued from social media because it came into our lives, completely took over the whole planet. And now everybody and the dog is walking around sort of with their head in the screen. And now we're all sick of it and we're fed up with the kids doing it. And it just feels like so much information overload. Correct. Now, I'm going to say to you, in the Bushido Entrepreneur, as part of productivity and part of discipline, is the way in which you use these things. So yes, if you're going to have alerts on all day long, going bing, 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 and you're constantly being pulled, then your energy is going to be scattered for a start off. Secondly, if you can't pull yourself away from your posts or whatever because you're seeing how many likes or comments or shares you've got, because inside you've got low self-esteem and you need that affirmation, then that's going to be a problem. So the thing here is, and I'm going to be really quite black and white with it, is simple. We always work from the inside out. So if you are happy, healthy, balanced, strong, together, organized, or whatever, you can march onto social media and go, okay, so this is what I want to share today. These are the groups that I'm going to go and comment in. These are the people I'm going to message today. I'm going to go in. We do that we call it a DMO, a daily method of operation. We call like a ninja power hour. So in the ninja power hour, we will go in and we will do certain work. Then you need to come out of it and switch off those things or quieten down the alerts and whatever. And then you go on to the next task. The difficulty is with people is they feel like it's like an all or nothing thing. They feel like, oh my God, I've either got to have my whole life spent on social media, or if I can't give that amount of time, I won't bother. But it's more of a 50-50 thing. It's more about an organising. So you might see many productivity things saying, check your emails at 9 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, say. But they're actually quite sound advice, because if you are constantly pulled by messages and pinging and whatever, I remember somebody saying to me they felt that if they was putting out a campaign or they was talking to people on social media, they felt like they had to reply instantly, else they were being rude. And I was saying, no, if you happen to be there, then of course you can reply to somebody. I mean, we wouldn't go, oh yeah, you replied to me, but I'm going to have to give it 2 hours and 35 minutes before I can reply. No, I'm not, obviously we're not going to be like that. However, I often feel like if you are, this, goes back to the energy thing. If you are really in a needy, desperate space, so you're just like hanging on your phone and waiting for everything to go off and do, and you're jumping on it, people can pick up on that energy, which is why people say, don't DM me with your pitch, don't whatever, because a lot of people will go in and they are pitch forward as opposed to service forward. And really, what you want to be doing is engaging with people, sharing the things that you can share with them to help them. Then you want to be asking them, how are you getting on? Is there anything I can help you with? So if you see like any of the stuff we're doing in here, it's the same sort of thing. We're giving you valuable content, of which I did post on something the other day about it, that I know courses and programs that have a lot of this kind of content that are like a $2,000 program. Now, we haven't added bells and whistles onto this and put it in a dashboard and given you RIP files and PDFs and whatever, but the core teachings I'm giving you are in some programs that I know go for $2,000. Now, okay, there's going to be a little bit more depth and a little bit more actionable steps. But if you notice, every day I've said to you, add a GIF if you want a PDF, or DM us or ask us any questions. So I've given you the opportunity that if you want to, get some help and support on it, you can. And that's the part. That's the part here that you really want to be concerned about, is your service. Now, let's look at two things with sharing. We've got baseline sharing, which is social media. Then we've got things like email list building, where obviously you're going to create an email list and then you can go out and talk to those people specifically on certain things you want to help and share them with. And we'll go on to the offers, as I said, tomorrow. So I'm not going to talk about offering anybody anything at the minute. I'm just talking about sharing. Then you've got things like your organic stuff. So organic is anything that you don't pay for, but you're more likely have to do a bit of legwork for it. So this can be your posts and your articles and your podcasts and your friends connections and your groups and your messaging, anything that comes under a kind of a more free, organic, natural space as opposed to paid for. When we move into paid for, we can do anything and everything from, gosh, the list, all kinds of funnels, book funnels, call funnels, course funnels, speaking funnels, oh my God, book funnels, membership site funnels, free gift funnels, loads of them. Anything you can think of. An event funnel, a retreat funnel, any funnel you can think of. And a funnel is simply going to be some kind of advert with either copy and an image or a video. It's going to go to some kind of free content or a video or a landing page or something. It's either going to offer you some free piece of content in exchange for your email address, or it's going to send you onto a webinar or something like that. And then they're going to obviously have your contact details, and then they will deliver some service to you, and at the end of it they'll make an offer. And again, we'll come to offers tomorrow. And there's nothing wrong with that. So we really need to get out of our heads this thing that's an issue. That's why I wanted to say sharing is caring, and stop thinking it of like, well, everybody's trying to sell me on something, because you have to think about it like this. They have a solution for your problem and they want to share with you about it, and they want to educate on it, and then they're going to offer you on it. And I'll tell you why you need to offer people, which is a bit of a sneak peek in tomorrow, but I'll tell it you, is because amazingly, not everybody just clicks on buy on their own. I remember reading a statistic once, being told this, that something like 67% of all sales carts get abandoned at some stage of it. Digitally, I'm talking about digital online buying and shopping here. And I was like, what do you mean 67%? What they meant was there was a time lapse recorded, meaning not everybody opens their device, goes, I want that, click, pay, done, close device. Now, distractions, change my mind. Do I want it? Somebody's walked in the room. What are you buying that for? Whatever it might be. People stop halfway. So the reason why we have to offer people something, and we have to give them a clear route of how to do it and simplify it, is not because we're twisting their arm, not because we're trying to make them do something they don't want to do. We're trying to just help them make an investment into themselves in as easy a way as possible. There's no point in getting to the, imagine if you went on, I'm just going to use Amazon because everybody knows Amazon. Imagine going onto Amazon, you want to buy a book, and you click on the book, and it might say to you, you've already pre-clicked the format. So it's already giving you those options. Do you want it in Kindle, paperback, hardback, Audible, whatever? And it's giving you those options. You've clicked the one you want, you go to it. Imagine if you clicked on the book and then nothing much happened, or a screen came up and it was a blank screen or something. And imagine if you had to sit there going, don't know, how do I buy this book? I don't really know. I kind of want this book. I don't know how to buy it. Okay. Do I press this orange button over here? It says help. Do I click the help button? And then imagine if I don't know, a bunch of unrelated, unnecessary things come up, and it was like, watch this, then you can buy a book, or whatever. I'm just being, over the top there. The point I'm making, if Amazon didn't make it simple, and like the one-click button as well that they added on, and Prime that they added on, yes, people can go, oh, it's Amazon making more money out of people. Yeah, they do make more money. However, it's also Amazon going, how can we help our customers have a smooth, pleasant, enjoyable buying experience from us? So A, they come back again, and B, it's positive, so they might share that experience with others, and C, we become their kind of go-to. Now, the funny thing is, if you had a pleasant experience at the supermarket, at the store, at the movie theatre, at Amazon, at any of these one things, do you really come away from all of those kinds of companies and go, they were trying to make me buy more this week in my food shopping, I'm not going there again. They offered me some offers. I don't want them to offer me. I'm being silly, but do you see the point? So we need to get out of our heads as entrepreneurs this ridiculous notion that sharing is a bad thing, and start to just see it as, If you don't say to somebody, oh, buy these two things and that one's free, or buy this and we'll give you that, or buy that and we give you free shipping. If you're not sharing that with somebody, how can they possibly know? And if you don't make it simple, there's a thing called KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Just means don't overcomplicate it. And so if we go on to paid for and like a funnel, I like super simple funnels. I don't like the funnels, and they're more older funnels now, but you've probably come across them, where they do this, the bump one, which will be, I'm going to buy something for $37. Fantastic. So I'm going to buy it. And then it will go, ooh, one-time offer. Do you want to add this to your whatever it is for $97? And you're like, yeah, okay, I might buy that then. Oh, wait, for just another $497, you can now get the whole coaching, whatever it is, bandwagon. That to me, I don't like. Now, they are actually very successful. They are very successful, but I personally don't like them. And I'll tell you why I don't like them. Because I prefer somebody to have the smooth experience of, I wanted this thing for $37. Let me just buy it, please. Okay, I've bought it. If you want to follow up with me and say, hey, Annette, we can see you've just bought the such and such a program for $37. We think it's awesome. We also think you might like to look at whatever, the add-on digital version of it for another $97. We'll check back with you tomorrow, or we'll give you a week to think about it. I personally would prefer that, because one thing that really annoys me is that if people have a certain budget for something, or they're making an offhand purchase that they hadn't planned to do, people don't necessarily want to pay 37.97, 500, 2,000, whatever it might be on the bounce like that. I think it starts to be a little bit out of integrity. So I prefer the journey to be, offer whatever it is you're going to offer them, let them enjoy that, and then if it's a good fit for them and they're enjoying it and they wish to carry on, then they can. That's why, for example, we've got 3 tiers, and we don't typically market all the tiers. And the reason being is we have this kind of ethos, like the Bushido Entrepreneur Challenge is our ground floor one, so it wouldn't matter even if you came in at our top tier, you still have to come to this particular one. But our theory is this: if you come and work with us for 4 months, 3.5 to 4 months inside the Bushido Entrepreneur Challenge, and you get all this amazing service and value and success and accomplishment, and you enjoy the team and you enjoy what you're doing, you're naturally not going to need any selling, because we would just be able to go, okay, hey, Simon, we love what you've done so far. I hope you've now got enough ideas to carry on moving that forward on your own. However, if you would like to carry on, the next couple of steps we could look at is this, this, and this, if that's of interest to you. And we don't put a countdown timer on it. We don't go, jing, 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 how they go, you've run out of time. Because, for example, somebody might go, oh, I would actually love to, but for the next 3 months, I'm in Ecuador or something. I don't know. I'll do it when I come back. Or, oh, yeah, that next tier is obviously a bit more money. So, yeah, I'm doing okay with this. I want to repeat this, because the challenge, for example, you can rinse and repeat it. We do challenges all the time. So you want to actually always be in a challenge. It's not something you want to buy and do and then drop. That to me would say that we've done a bad job. We would want you to actually buy it and do it, think, oh my God, that's life changing, and then keep on doing it on your own. You don't necessarily have to do it with us. You can keep on doing it on your own. And if that's the only thing you ever did with us, then fantastic. But you always know, oh, but I now understand what these people do. So if I want to go back to them at any point and do whatever, I can. And that's the point. It's a door open policy, not a door shut policy. This brings me back to conscious business. Because for me, conscious business is more about door opening, not, oh, the door is shut if you don't do this by this time and this time and this time. I just try and push, push, push. I get it about urgency. So I'm going to cover that in this sharing part. Urgency is created because sometimes people are on the fence, but you have to go back to the sharing part. If you share to your audience in a way that they understand you and they feel that you're going to solve that problem for them, and they've built up a relationship with you and they've started to like you and trust you, and they actually think, actually, this is going to be a really good thing for me to do, then they're not going to be so much on the fence. People tend to be on the fence and I don't know, because you haven't convinced them either way. They're not either a dead no of like, I don't like you, I don't like what you're doing, so it's a no from me, but they're not really a yes either because they're not utterly convinced. So then you have to go back to what you're sharing and how you're sharing and how you're doing these offers, and making sure that we're really, really, really succinct on who our target audience is, what it is that we're helping them with, and then how we're helping them with it. And once we really, really get good at that, then we can just share with them service value, content, support, and all the love. And then they'll naturally, when we create an offer for them, be in the right place to be able to say something like, yeah, I would love to do that work with you, or no, I don't think that's for me. And either's fine. I mean, we'll talk about that more tomorrow on the offer, but either is fine, because some people get really hung up on this. They get hung up on the whole marketing thing because they think marketing's about drilling things down people's necks. And then the second thing, they get really hung up on the fact that they've got to sell to everybody and they've got to have a 100% sales record. But when you take that off and put it into a conscious state and go, sharing is caring, I just want to deliver, serve, and help. As long as I've done that, that's my job done. If I want to make an offer, then I'll offer something, and providing I've done that in a way that people can understand what it is that I'm offering, and they can decide whether it's worth it to them, then they'll decide whether they're going to make that self-investment. The only thing you want to be mindful of with the whole sharing, caring thing is be mindful a little piece about psychology. A lot of people I would say in the olden days, the old paradigm is ROI, ROI, what's the return on investment? That's a bit old school now. Now we're looking more at like the COI, what's the cost of inaction? Because now we're in such a saturated space of information, we can't really complain too much about the ROI, because the thing is, the ROI is what we ever put into something. And I did mention this the other day, that you can get plenty of people who have got program fatigue, that might have bought a bunch of things and you might have them sat on your desktop, and you might have dibbled and dabbled in them and whatever, but if you haven't fully embodied it and embraced it and done every single step to the complete and utter utmost of your ability, you can't blame the program. That's more on the that's more on the person within the program, if that makes sense. So the thing is, I'm not really a big fan of blaming the program. I tend to like, because I've done it myself, I've got tons of programs, and I'll never say a bad word against anybody's program that I have bought, because the ones that I've done properly and got a lot of out of, fantastic. The ones that I've maybe half started and I'm going to get back to, absolutely fine. The ones that I've not opened, absolutely fine. That's all on me. I take full and absolute responsibility to that. That is one of the premises in conscious leadership, actually, absolute responsibility. So we don't put the blame on anybody else, and it's not about putting the blame on us either. It's just taking that accountability and responsibility for what we've chosen to do and not do. Also, I will add, and I've said this to many people, sometimes we buy products or services out of order, meaning I might have jumped in and gone and got a ton of sales training, okay? But going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the week, if I'm not clear on who my audience is, what my message actually is, what my mission is, how am I selling anybody on anything? And that happens a lot, you see, because people jump the steps and do them out of order. And then you'll go, this isn't working, that program's rubbish, this person taught me wrong, they don't know what they're talking about, this is a disaster, I'm unhappy, I'm going to have to go and get a job. And you're like, no, actually, it's the cart before the horse. You know, you have learned something that's actually going to be valuable to you at some point, but it's not the most relevant thing right this second. So I always look at programs and like look at them in terms of an A to Z, and have it as like a library that you can pull from at any given time and actually just be grateful for that. Go, how lucky and blessed am I that I have this plethora of courses and programs and mentors and coaches and people that can help me with all these different aspects to conscious living, conscious leadership, and conscious business. Fantastic. But where am I right now? What is it that I need today? And that's why I'm going through these steps this week, because I can guarantee to anybody, without me talking to you or not, that unless you've got all of these things nailed on, I can tell you, you will have a hole in the business and something won't be going to where you would like it to be going. You won't be having the result that you'll be wanting to have. And again, that's not about blaming any of us. It's just taking a step back and looking within and going, okay, so where am I at with this list? But also internally. So one of the things in the Bushido Entrepreneur is we have this external band. This is what I'm taking you through now, the Conscious Business Core Essentials. That's our external band. But the inner band, which is why it's called the Bushido Entrepreneur, takes in mindset and your inner world. We have to do the two simultaneously, because all that I am is all that is going to be in front of me. And again, I will keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. This is not about any of us being wrong, bad, blah, 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 anything. There's nothing wrong with any of us. It just means we're at where we're at. Fantastic. Now let's look at where we want to get to. And that's why in a challenge, it's a 90-day challenge, because we need to have a start, a middle, and an end. But we tack on a couple of weeks at the beginning for onboarding to truly get to know you very, very well and take you through a series of exercises. Then we embark on the challenge, and then at the end we have a debriefing. So it takes obviously sort of almost 4 months to complete it. And inside it, we work on multifaceted layers. We work on the inner stuff, as I said, mindset, you. So this comes under the conscious living. We also start to teach you some of the conscious leadership principles so you can understand how those ways of thinking and decision making is going to impact everything externally. Then we teach you across this band of conscious leadership, conscious business, but we have a goal. The reason why it's a challenge is because you're going to come into the challenge with a particular problem, with something where you're like, I'm here and I want to get there, but I'm not quite sure how to make that leap. So the quantum leap we're going to create within the challenge is bespoke to you. So whilst we have set piece of curriculum, which are these foundations and principles that all of us need to learn, that isn't actually what the challenge is going to just be about for you. The challenge is going to be about your problem or your issue or challenge, or where you're at right now, where you want to be. And then it will be hand bespoke crafted for you. That's why this isn't a digital thing where we're going, buy the book, buy the digital, off you go, sort it out yourself. We just can't do that. And trust me, I've actually tried to do that, because I really wanted to create an accessible digital version of this that we could just kind of put in a membership site and sell it at a cheaper price and let people just do it on their own. But the problem is our team, our mentoring, our support, our sessions are the crux of it. So yes, we can give you digital delivery of certain aspects of it, but the rest is all one-on-one. It's all person to person, and we can't. We don't really want to create that by AI or something. We don't want to make that a robotic experience. We want to keep the human experience, because the thing is with us, because it's conscious-based business, we care. We care about you. We care about your mission. We care about your family, your health, your well-being. We care about the whole thing. So we're all very, very emotionally invested into each person that comes to work with us. So I want to go back to sharing, and then I'll finish off for today, and then we'll get to offering tomorrow. So the key things about sharing, so there's a couple of other things I didn't finish off, did I, in terms of paid for, so I just went into funnels. But we then can go into obviously things like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads. We can do what I mentioned before about strategic alliances, joint ventures and things like that, which, as an example, let's say you have somebody in mind who has a whole list of people that would be really suitable for what you have. Some sort of JV or strategic alliance would be about contacting that person saying, you know, could we do a series of emails to your audience, and you know, we'll work out a thing. Now, most of the time that's going to be 50, 60, 40, could be 80, 20, depends on the person, and it depends on their value of their list. If that is somebody that's super well known, they can be quite cutthroat and go, okay, I'm taking 80% of the profit, you can keep 20. But the reason why people do that and they take the 20% is because, think of it this way, do I want a 20% profit on my digital program? Works best for digital. For my digital thing, book, course, whatever, and have all these people come over to me and fatten out my email list and get me on the radar of this particular person, so they're alliancing with me and going, I recommend John, he's got this really awesome program in mindset, I think it's fantastic and you should do it. And then their clients jump on and do it. Let's say it's a $500 program, and you get $200 and the other person gets $300, or you get 100 and they get 400. It is worth it to you, because you have to understand, when you pay for marketing and paying for ads, you can spend thousands, and then you work it down. There's different strategies and everything, which is way out of the concept of not concept of the context of this video. But you know, you work out your acquisition rate. So what is your cost per client? And they work that out through like impressions. So how many people looked at your ad, how many people engaged with your ad. Engagement is so many seconds on the ad, so not just flicking through the thing. It's if somebody's actually stopped on it, which means they're reading it. The algorithm can tell that they are engaged in it, and engaged after so many seconds is a bigger hit than obviously engaged for 2 seconds and then whoop, they've gone past it. And there's special ways in which you can retarget as well. So let's say we have a video, it's in the feed and it's my little ad with my video, and let's say I'm going to make this really small numbers. Let's say it got in front of 100 people, and let's say 50 people ignored it. Let's say 30 people watched it for 4 seconds, and let's say 20 people watched it for 10 seconds. Okay, you can do special campaigns that retarget a different piece of content to the people that watched it for more than, let's say, 8 seconds or something, because they've already shown some engagement into your material, so then it can be retargeted to them. We can also all go back to the people that only watched it for a couple of seconds, and we can either give them the same thing, because the second time around they might watch it, and the people that did the 50 that really weren't interested, we can work out, were they just not interested in that particular ad, i.e. was the ad failing, or are they just not interested in our services at all? And you can make a split, which is why a lot of times you hear the word beta testing, split testing, A and B testing. It's because the testing, the algorithm's going, do people like this heading or this heading? Do they like this picture or this picture? Do they like this video or do they like this text? And it's engaging with your audience and working out, because you might find that your particular audience responds the best to video, or you might find your particular audience responds better to some kind of story and picture with a particular grabbing headline, because everybody's audience is different. This is the point. So that's just a little bit about, you know, ad spends and different things you can do with ads, and a little bit about joint ventures, strategic alliances. There's obviously things like Instagram, there's obviously endorsements, there's PR, that's another big thing. There's a ton of paid for things. However, the point of this group being called Conscious Business 6 Figures and Beyond is because you have to make a certain amount a month to be able to afford to invest in your marketing, to invest in the design. So a lot of the times when I said to you the quote the other day when I said, build the plane while you fly, is because you need to do it in stages. So stage 1 is, let's pretend it's a brand new thing and I have no budget and nothing. There's no point in me going, oh, but I want to be like that company. Oh, they spend 50,000 a month on Facebook ads. They've got the best copywriter in the world, and they've got a massive design agency team putting out incredible content. Oh, boo-hoo, I can't do that, so I'll quit. No, we go, okay, what can I do? This is where you get your free or your cheap websites together. This is where you get all your free social media platforms. This is where you get your phone out and you do your videos yourself. This is where you start to build your own groups. This is where you do all the, I'm going to say the legwork, the hard work. But once you've got some sort of an establishment and some sort of money coming in, then you want to start looking at, what do I want to delegate? What do I want to start paying for? And this, I said to you the day on the business map day, when we looked at strategy, structure and systems, that's where that comes into. So we're able to help you and say, okay, so we think for you personally, your best next step is to get the help in this, or actually eke out a little bit of money for that. Because that's another thing. I mean, you don't have to take somebody else's opinion. You can do whatever you want because it's your business. But the beauty of having a team of experts around you is it's a good sounding board. It's a good thing to have other people to talk to. No matter how many years I've been doing certain things and what I know and how many millionaires and billionaires I've been taught by and blah, 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 makes no difference to me. I constantly make sure I have people around me that are talking to me, that are teaching me new things, that are helping me to embody better the things that I already know, that are actually pointing out blind spots, that are actually kind of saying to me, okay, well, you did this, but you missed off that. Or you forgot about this, or why don't you just tweak that and that'll improve that? Because there's gold. There is gold in every single little nugget. So I'm going to stop there because I've gone over 30, and tomorrow I'm going to go on to offering, and then on day 7 I'm going to just give you a little bonus session. I was actually going to do the 6, decided to go to day 7 and give you a little bonus on day 7. But today we've done, let's see if I can remember, cats, dogs, fish, elephant. Let's do, I want to say spider. I'm going to say spider today. So we'll do a gift for a spider if you want any, like a worksheet or any kind of handout or something to help you with thinking about the sharing is caring. But I really want you to take away that, if you can't take anything else away from today, take away that marketing is sharing and caring. You will have heard us in other videos talk about frequency and vibration marketing. Don't want to get into that today. Want to just get into the fact of what marketing is on a base level, which is sharing because you care about your audience. Okay, so have a wonderful rest of day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hope you're finding this valuable. Please do drop us a line, DM us, get in touch. Josh is keeping in touch with everybody in the group, so if you'd like to book a call with us, just give us a shout. If you've got any questions or comments, just please leave them in the comments below, and stick a little GIF or a little icon of a spider if you would like a little worksheet. Okay, have fun, have a lovely evening, and see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.